With myself, ODPixel and Draskell here at the casting panel. We're ready to go into the third game of the second best of three series of the day. It is, of course, between the sides of Hellraisers and Chappa Pomoyka 2. And I have been informed that Pomoyka 2 means Scrapyard 2, which is apparently a Russian phrase for Dota 2. So
oh, really?
The more you know.
Cool. Yeah. Is that supposed to mean that they all consider themselves bad players because they're from the scrap heap or whatever?
And I think also what I was told is Chappa's actually pronounced Kappa. So it literally means Kappa Dota 2.
Okay.
So, and Kappa Dota 2, Hellraisers go first pick IO, Kappa Dota 2 take the Tiny away.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you first pick Wisp, to some degree you kind of have to expect that the enemy team is going to try to take away one of the partners of the hero, right? But it still leads me to believe they're going to be going for a melee core because they've taken out Clockwork. So Clockwork obviously great against the Shaker, great against Wisp in general, but very annoying for any melee hero because as soon as you do a relocate, you can drop a cog either on it, so you teleport into it, or you can also put it in a way so that as soon as they relocate, they get bounced off.
So who are we looking at a kind of perspective IO partners? I mean, kind of Bristleback comes to mind so far.
Yeah, Bristleback's really nice. You can pick your typical Sven, you can go CK, you know, there's a lot of usually strength-based heroes that you pick with it, and even PA, for example, is really nice because you can blink in, get a guaranteed tether, and you can dagger as well and chase in, and it increases the tankiness of the hero tenfold, and with a Wisp and a PA mid, for example, you can just fight nonstop, throw daggers forever. It's actually very annoying to play against, or you could just go PL again if you really wanted to.
Oh, yeah, I guess that could work as well with the relocates. Beastmaster's going to be the pickup. I guess if you haven't got an IO that's going to be able to help the Tiny out in the attack speed department, Beastmaster Aura will at least do something for the push.
Well, they have double Aura. They have Venge and Beastmaster. So watch them just end up picking like Ogre Magi, for example.
Yes,
and just
Ogre.
Go for like, and then they think the patch hit, so they pick Alchemist and Farm and Aghanims and look like really weird teams.
That would be fun.
I mean, it would be pointless, but it would be funny.
I mean, Alchemist, a hero that I don't know what the well, Scriff's good at getting, you know, stupid heroes up. I bet he can get Alka. What's the pick and ban ratio on that?
Why they gotta be stupid? He actually has every hero, I'm pretty sure. It's just like a drop-down list.
Oh, they're taking them all away from the... So CK is picked up as the IO combination, and then Kappa Dota 2, they pick up the Sven on top of the Tiny that's already in their lineup.
Okay, so here's my primary concern.
Okay.
You've picked 3 melee heroes into a Shaker. Now...
Kappa Dota 2. I mean...
I don't have anything else to say other than that. Like, they actually...
If they win with this, are you going to be impressed?
If they pick triple melee into Shaker and win the game, I would be very impressed.
I mean, it's a very manly lineup, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look at the beards. You got a beard made out of moss. You got like a natural beard with like hair horns. I don't know if they're supposed to be like real horns, if he's wearing like some kind of a wreath or what that's supposed to be. And then you got a Sven.
That's a good question.
That's some of the manliest heroes in Dota. So I mean, I'm all for the run at people strategy and stuns, and we got Cleave and we got Tiny Aghanims. We can deal with the CK illusions. All of our heroes are beefy. It just seems like it's a strongman competition. It's 4 strength heroes on Hellraisers and 3 strength heroes on Kappa Dota 2. So if...
Wow, this is a proper
They're not picking... I'm pretty sure the other parts of their ban screen are broken. Like the other areas, they just can't pick heroes from. It's just all strength.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see on the side of Kappa Dota 2, I want to see Beastmaster in the mid lane. I want to see Sven support with Vengeful Spirit support with the Tiny in the safe lane farming. And against 4 strength heroes, I want to see a Timbersaw off lane.
I want to see an Undying.
Or, Undying or Timber.
I mean, Undying against Kappa Dota 2.
There's all these strength heroes.
You run like Undying with a Wisp. You know how strong that is against melee? Like, they can't do anything to that. You just spam decay and you have your Wisp tether you and heal you with bottle charges, and you're a god.
I mean, looking at the Sven, but do you imagine it is going to be a support? It's not going to be a Sven mid, is it? Or could it be a Sven mid? Depends on a support Sven.
I mean, if they send it against Brew, it's going to do badly because Brew crushes like all melee. He's one of those heroes who you have like a 45% blind just from the innate hero itself.
Come on, Kappa Dota 2.
All right, Gyro.
So it is a Sven support.
It's a lot of fighting.
It is a lot of fighting.
It could also be Gyro support, keep in mind.
Actually. That is a good point. That is a very good point as well. Which...
Wow, he has a terrible win rate, huh?
It's not great, is it?
15 and 36, okay.
Ooh.
So the interesting thing about this pick screen right here is that it's actually totally worthless because they haven't picked a single hero on this list. Isn't that not funny to you?
Yeah.
They have not picked a single hero that they're well known for picking.
5 seconds.
I think they just all want to go all out with a bit of a fun game, and it's certainly going to be a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Pucks,
here we go.
A bit anti-fun. I mean, you know, the fun kicks off and you just come in with the silence.
I mean, we're going to see the offlane shaker. We could potentially see the Alpha Ninja puck.
I was going to say, I think we've seen Alpha Ninja puck before, and it's been pretty effective.
Oh yeah, he's good at all mid heroes, to be honest.
Yes.
Like, I rarely see him have a bad game. The one Storm I think he played, we were kind of criticizing his over-aggressiveness. That was the only game where I thought he wasn't on point. Dear God, he has a 70% win rate with Venge. What a player. Why don't they pick that hero more for him?
Well, they've picked a real variety of heroes on both sides today. This is going to be a bit of a different game, which is always a good night. Oh, smoke up straight away from the side of the Dire.
Dude, they have so many stuns.
They've got a lot of wham bam.
And level 1 rocket
barrage. A lot
barrage.
of wham bam.
There could be some thank you, ma'am, coming after that.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
All right, PG-13. Let's keep it real.
Dread. He's going to be okay.
I thought they were going to do offlane shaker mid brew, but yeah, I guess it makes more sense to do it this way.
They're not going to find anyone here.
Yeah.
Tiny had the toss lined up and everything to get one of the stunners. Dread.
30 seconds.
Dread going to the secret shop. Are they going to go and look?
Oh, 30 gold. But now he's super dead.
First blood there to the side of Chappa. Scrapyard 2, which is the translation of their name. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third game of this best of 3 series, the final series of the day here at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague Season 3, of course with myself, ODPixel, and Draskell. So let's have a look at the lineups and look at the sides. On the side of the Dire, on the side of Chappa, Scrapyard 2, it's going to be It's Nicarilo or Nicanilo. It's not, is it? Nicarilo on the Tiny. It is going to be Pasha Invoker on the Beastmaster. It's going to be the Beastmaster mid. Dodger Dota will be on the core Gyrocopter, and he will be supported up by Metpum on the Sven, and also White Peepo on the Vengeful Spirit. Draskell, what are we seeing in terms of lane coming out from Hellraisers?
All right, so we got Ninja. He's going to be handling his puck, and it is going to be a safe lane puck, so he'll be pretty happy with that matchup, I think. Goddamn, the Invisible Wisp. How can something that's not visible cast a shadow, by the way? Anyway, all right. He's going to be walking towards the middle lane to support his CK Artes. Towards top, we're going to have Dread handling Brew, and then Gorak, who's chilling in base right now. He's going to be playing out the Shaker. So I kind of figured they would do a 2-1-2, but I thought they might put the Shaker in the puck top because it can be very annoying against the farm. But HR are just prioritizing getting the blink on FNN as soon as humanly possible. It would be very delayed if they put him in the offlane.
Okay, well, you see how this works out for both sides. Obviously, a nice start for the side of Chappa as they do get that first blood. Looking at the two kind of farming cores then on both sides, I mean, it's the Tiny on his own on this offlane against the puck. I mean, this is a tricky lane for the Tiny, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit... Okay, I'll be honest, I have no idea what Chappa are meant to do with this draft. Like, they look like they just want to stun and kill people, which is fine. Like, that's a valid strategy. But the lanes are just not ideal. Like, Beastmaster versus a dual lane Wisp CK mid, that's a loss. The offlane is a super loss. And then top, you might be able to kill Dread, but it's kind of tough. Like, you're going to need to double stun into full rocket barrage with no creeps. Panda has a lot of HP and great strength gain. 2.9 is crazy high.
Well, we'll see how it does work out for the side of Chappa. I mean, CS-wise so far, mid lane, CK with the 7 CS. Beastmaster doing pretty well. He's managed to find 6 so far, but the denies are there, of course, as well for the CK in this mid lane being backed up by the IO. And the Tiny on his off lane, he's found a couple of CS. He's going to head into the jungle here, see what he can find, and tries to spook out Goretz. He's got the Avalanche Toss combination. And he's going to throw at least the Avalanche out. Hasn't quite got the mana pool to play with both of these skills at this moment in time. Beastmaster is about as well, but so CK. CK coming in the Fisher. I think actually, yeah, he's going to trap out the Tiny. There's the Chaos Bolt to follow through. He's stunned up. Illusory Orb flies through, and the final right click there from Alpha Ninja will find the kill. And now your Beastmaster in a bit of the middle of nowhere, bringing Alpha Ninja low and will find the return kill. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, and he's got an Invis Ring, pops it, and now with the ball turns onto Goretz. He wants to go for for more. Pops a ball charge. He's going to hold back there. Did have a secondary axe to throw out, but didn't quite feel that he could get the kill there. So a 1-for-1 trade and still. Chappa, you know, keeping their momentum and keeping the lead here. And Radiant's Courier did go down and install that.
Yep. Not the greatest for HR. Did the Wisp end up getting his bottle? Yeah, he did.
What level's that missile coming in?
Is he okay here? Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
It's only level 1 apparently.
Okay.
If it was level 2, it would have killed him. But
I mean, do you think with the Gyro and the Sven, is this the best right way to have it around? Would you rather have your Gyro farming than your Sven farming?
Yeah, I think so. It synergizes better with the lineup. Like the Sven is really only picked for the stun. Like they want a tiny stun, a Beastmaster stun, a Venge stun, and a Sven stun. And they're just going to kill people with like Rocket Barrage and Call Down and stuff, and they're just going to go like all out fighting. Which, like I said, it's not a bad strategy. And there's tons of AoE on their team, so Wisp is probably just going to explode randomly throughout the game. Like it'll just be standing there, then Wisp is dead for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm actually fairly impressed that they're doing okay in the laning phase. Like the Beastmaster is edging out even the CK in terms of overall farm, and a lot of that, of course, has to do with the fact that they just got a couple of kills in the bottom of the river, and that sent the Wisp back to base. But
well, we've seen that they smoked up here. Yeah, they have. Smoked up from the tier 2, both White Peepo and Metpum. Seeing if they can find anyone here, if they want to head into the Radiant jungle, or they're going to rotate around towards mid lane. Tiny, he's found Goretz. Will start the fight here with the Avalanche and the toss. Goretz, he has got the mana here for a Fisher. Will throw it out, catches all three, but the Stormhammer's already flying. And, well, a very nice rotation from the side of Chappa. Will find themselves another kill as it turns to 3-1. Dodger getting a little bit low here, and IO tethering up Dread will be there to give him the final bit of a push to bring down the Gyrocopter and get a kill under the Brewmaster's belt.
it's like the most terrifying lineup to play against, actually. If you look at Kappa's team, it's like a billion stuns, high magic burst. If you get caught, there's like a 90% chance that you're gonna die, no matter how tanky you are. Like even the CK and the Panda can die to the kind of burst that Chappa and Dota 2 have. So I don't know, man. It could work.
It could work. I mean, as well, if you look at the lineup, even if, say, CK gets something like a BKB, there's a lot of physical damage coming out from Chappa.
Yeah, I mean, you have this Sven who can potentially go Ags later on into the game, or he could go Blink if he wants to go for initiation. Tiny can pretty much do the same thing. You have double aura on 2 melee heroes who also both cleave. Like, there is some serious late game potential coming out from Chappa's team. There's no doubt about that. I'm just wondering, are they going to get to the late game with these types of lineups? These are usually the ones that have a glaring weakness, like your laning phase is just not very good, for example.
I mean, kind of looking at what they've got, the real kind of make or break moment for me is at least going to be when...
Bottom lane.
Ooh, Brewmaster getting
You're welcome with us.
There was a dream call then. Alpha Ninja with the Waning Rift needs to find one more right click, but the Dukes are there and Tiny's going to be out and they're going to go back in. Nika, he's going straight in.
Oh,
and
he didn't hit him! Oh my god, that was close. Holy crap.
They did lose the Gyrocopter on the top lane, but he was a little bit messy on the bottom lane, but they do find the kill onto the
Sven canceled his auto attack, and I thought he was going to get an orb off because of that and get the Sven before he died, but fortunately.
Oh, hello, that's a roar onto Dread, and he's got a haste rune. IO, is the heal going to be there strong enough? And well, no, it's not. Pasha does find the kill onto the Brew. There is going to be a Fisher to catch the Beastmaster out on the way out. They're still 5 for 4. All things considered, looking pretty good for Chappa, you know, taking into account their lineup.
It's not bad. I mean, they managed to kill a puck with a bunch of strength heroes, so that's impressive. Twice, no less. They killed him in the river with the Beastmaster, and they killed him again bottom. So they're not off to too bad of a start, everything considered.
Denied.
I don't know, man. This is...
next level.
I guess. Or just like, last game, you know, Chappa lose, and they're like, you know what? We're just going back to our roots. Full CIS Dota. Just pick a lot of disables, pick a lot of damage, and just run at stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it is now, but there is a sentry down. They're going to find the Avalanche anyway. The Stormhammer. Fantastic little bit of a play there as puck gets blown up. 6 for 4 now, favoring the side of Chappa. And I mean, as I was saying, one of the turning points is going to be when IO gets that relocate, and if the side of Hellraisers are able to find, well, and use the strength of the old IO to the best ability that they can. And they do have a CK and a Brew.
Yeah, the Brew ulti being online is a big thing for HR. Like, Dread needs to be able to go in, disable like one of the other cores on the enemy team, and, you know, blind the other, I guess. You just blind the, well, I guess you would probably just blind the Sven.
Oh, he's looking for the gyro here. He's going deep. Does have the primal split available. Oh, Wild says you're going to get found out there, my sonny. He goes down. Fisher catches out Dodger Dota. They throws down the cooldown, but already the primal split has been popped. Goretzka got down looking to dive the tower. They have brought down the Sven. Dodges Dota getting very low. Takes the rock to the face. He'll go down as well. There will be 2 heroes dying here in the top lane. Nicarilo coming in on the Tiny will get sent up into the air and has the backup of the Vengeful Spirit here. Maybe they can look to try and blow someone up. Dread, he's on the front lines, he's getting buffed up by the IO, and I don't think these 2 heroes, the Tiny and the Bench, really have enough burst damage to bring anyone down in this situation.
Oh, they don't have split though, so if they get +1, they probably could fight. Just the Tiny doesn't have mana, so he might wait for a TP in, fill his bottle. Is he gonna go back? No, he's just walking forward. Okay. He should have definitely filled his bottle.
Toss forward from the Venge, gets the magic missile onto Dread. The Fisher will come out there, and it looks like they'll turn it around. Do find the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. They're coming in, trying to get the punches in, but the attack is too slow from the Tiny. Won't be able to get anything off. In comes the Rocket Barrage. There's going to be a missile. A nice cooldown. Won't actually catch anyone, though, as they're actually forced onto the dire side of that ultimate falling down. Avalanche catching out 2. Nice Storm Hammer as well, but they relocate out. Will be there, and they do return back to safety there.
And just in time, as Pasha is now top with Aurora up in a couple of seconds, so. I mean, it could have been better for Chappa. They lost their gyro. In fact, he's 0-4, so he's not had the greatest of games. But the Brewmaster is the really big pick for HR, and as soon as the Shaker gets Blink and Echo, dear God, the Echoes are going to be massive. Because they're always going to want to try to go for the Wisp combo, right? They see a relocate in, they stun on top of it with a Tiny, they go for a Sven stun, and everyone's going to be clumped up a lot of the time. That's the part that terrifies me about their team. And then you just get one good Echo, and all of a sudden it's going to be Kappa Dota 2.
Kappa Dota 2, indeed. And I mean, so the Beastmaster, top of the net worth at the moment, going straight for that Necro book, and he's going to be very close to having it finished off. There's your raw onto Goretzka going in, has the axes as well. He should be able to chase this one down. There is an enchant totem to hold him in place for the time being, but with the boar slow, Pasha Evoke will very easily chase that down. Might be in a bit of trouble here. Dreamcore's going to get thrown down, and the Chaos Bolt is going to be a 3-second. Well, 3 times stun there, and that's going to be a dead Beastmaster. They do get the trade. Brewmaster now just had the Blink Dagger pre-10 minutes. They're going to find White Peepo. In comes the Avalanche onto 2 and the toss as well. Bringing IO low. They do pop the IO, but they do again trade it for the Vengeful Spirit. So for a 2-for-2 trade, Earthshaker and IO going down for the Beastmaster and the Vengeful Spirit.
Those boars are ridiculously annoying, man. Bottom lane, though?
Oh, Stormhammer will connect onto Artest. They've got an Avalanche and a toss combination to follow through, and CK's in a lot of trouble here. Pops the charges, will try and TP out, and he might. No, he doesn't just make it. They will get the final tickle there. Sven finds the kill onto the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, very close. That Tiny's attack speed is not very fast at all. He's got 1 point into growth, so he loses a lot of attack speed off of that, and then he doesn't even have treads finished. So pretty unfortunate that Artest ended up dropping there, but it's just non-stop fighting. I mean, it's 10 minutes in, 10 kills on each side. 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. Divided by 3 is 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Unbelievable. We just did it here. I don't even... See, Slasher even gave me the head nod. He's like, you nailed it.
I think that was a head shake. Like, no, stop it. Okay, there's going to be a relocate into the top room. They're not actually going to find anyone here because there's a haste on Pasha Invoker. Heads back into his jungle. Does have the Primal Roar. But no, not going to look to initiate at this point in time. Tiny finding a bit of farm here on the bottom lane. He's been given a bit of space, and I mean, net worth-wise, I look at it a little bit one-sided in the sense that even though your Beastmaster's top, he's then followed up by 3 heroes on the side of the Radiant, and the Dire, just in terms of net worth, if you look at the graph, I'd imagine they are slowly kind of falling behind. Okay, it's only 1,000. Okay, it's not massive. There's an Avalanche onto the IO and the Magic Missile and the Stormhammer. The stuns are just flying everywhere from the side of the Dire. Goretzka will throw a Fisher down onto Pasha, but if that Boar Slow connects, which it won't, bottom lane, Tiny does go down. Now CK and the Puck trying to find a kill in return. The Axe from the Beastmaster will find the kill. Sven sits in the jungle, will pay with his life. It's another 2-for-2 trade. Earthshaker and IO going down for a Sven and a Tiny, so it does favour the side of Hellraisers. In top lane, they might get Gyro here as well with the Primal Split, throwing him up again, throwing him down as they dispel it, and he'll burn down, and one final rock to finish off the job. Brewmaster gets a kill on Gyro.
Yeah, it's the strength of the Brew. When your team is fighting non-stop, it's very easy for Brew to solo kill most heroes, and what in the heck is going on down here?
That's
not your base, dude. He wanted a ward, I think. Yeah, he had 2 wards in his inventory.
Okay.
So he got picked off trying to ward the hill and the enemy woods.
Scratch in that one.
Which, I mean, the way that they're playing, it makes sense that he would want that kind of vision. Toss on mid.
Toss into Stormhammer. Fantastic avalanche to follow up. Artez getting low. Ooh, the tiny IO. Sorry, the IO comes in. Nearly heals him up in time, but it won't be the case. Does lose the CK here. Oh, Nicarilo coming through. The nice Fisher there to block off the aggression. TP into the mid lane now from your Puck. He's going to look for a Stormhammer straight away, but the Waning Rift comes out onto the Sven. Avalanche will hold back Goretz. Sven turning it around, but the Stormhammer will be phase shifted. The Roar will not be phase shifted, though. As Afro Ninja gets caught out, will go down. It's a 2-hero down on the side of Hellraisers. Hellraisers trying to fight up with the Dread. IO combination here, trying to fight back with the punches from Nicarilo. They're certainly hurting, and Pasha chasing them all down with the ball. So Avalanche onto 2. It's a double kill for the Tiny. It's a team wipe on the side of Hellraisers, and they only lose the Sven on the side of Chappa.
What is happening?
This is Dota 2.
Is this actually? I mean, it is Chappa Dota 2. You're not wrong. But I mean, that was a brilliant team fight to take solely for the reason that they had no split. They killed the CK before he used Phantasm. That was like the perfect storm of events. The Wisp didn't, or excuse me, the Puck didn't even get his coil off. Like there was no ultimate use in that team fight from the side of HR. Every single one of them died before they were able to hit their R button, or just didn't have it at all in the case of the Brew. So really nice timing on the engagement there from the Dire team. They get the tower, they go completely ham, and they make it well worth it.
Absolutely. Tiny finishing off his treads and looking at the net worth now. This offlane Tiny now with more net worth than your safe lane CK.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit rough right now. And I mean, this is kind of the effect that the new gold mechanics have had is if you wanted to play a super aggressive lineup that relies on solely fighting, it can work. But the only reason it works for them right now is because of all the disables they have.
Stormhammer onto Artez. Where's the backup? He does have an IO. IO does have the relocate. But is just going to back off and keep the distance. There wasn't any follow-up to the Stormhammer, so CK hiding in the side shop at the moment. Gyro's about as well. There's going to be both the Brewmaster and the Earthshaker. Sorry, just the Brewmaster, sorry, heading up to the top lane. Earthshaker's in the mid lane at the moment with Puck, Alpha Ninja, hanging about. Still trying to find his Blink Dagger. He's got 1,800 gold, so he is fairly close to it. We'll start to get a little bit of pressure here onto the tier 1 in your mid lane. But yeah, I mean, the support Sven, he's got treads and he's got 1k gold on himself as well. Do you kind of feel that in a game where the fights are kind of thick and fast, a Blink Dagger is going to be the best thing for a Sven here?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, with the way that they've been playing, you want that aggression. You know, you want the ability to just jump in and pop somebody before they're able to get an ulti.
It's a level 3 Necro, 15 minutes in on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, Pasha's a giant right now. So if they can blink stun into Roar, into Book, that hero dies.
Afro Ninja is going to get caught out by the toss. Stun, he's very low. Nice Echo Slam, they're bringing them so low. In comes your Gyro with the cooldown, but he's already really low. Passion Invoker's trying to bottle up, but they've already lost 2 on the side of Chappa. Dodges Dota, diving behind the tower that was once there. Sven is trying to come in to help out the team. Passion Invoker getting stunned. Afro Ninja, he's so low, but he will survive. They do manage to not bring down the Gyro as of yet. He's still running away to the north. There's a Sven in the midst of it all. Gets rifted back in by the Chaos Knight. Artez does find a double kill. And Gyro, is he going to get away here? They do see the IO trying to chase it down, and there is a Fisher available on this Earthshaker. It doesn't have Blink, and I don't know if are they going to be able to peep him here with a Fisher. Are they going to be able to do it? Oh, it's just
that was really close, actually.
It was ambitious, but it was.
Yeah, but the Fisher actually even poked through the racks, like just barely. So it was only like 100 or 200 range off. That's the difference in a fight where HR are able to use their ultimates and a fight where they're not.
Yes.
Like the last team fight they took, they didn't get to use any, and they got slaughtered. But the other thing too is for some reason, Pasha may have thought that the Avalanche Toss combo was going to straight up kill the Puck, so he didn't roar.
Yeah.
But because he didn't roar, the Fissure came in, and the Orb and the Silence right on top of each other and just obliterated 2 heroes, like put them into such a low amount of health that they couldn't fight anymore. So that already is pretty much just fight over from Chappa. They couldn't continue on after that, and HR just kind of steamrolled over them with the Panda ulti.
We're seeing the Hand of Midas now picked up on Dread on this Brewmaster. Smoke up from the full 5-man roster here of Chappa. They're looking towards Roshan. There is an Earthshaker nearby, and it's actually going to get dispelled here on Tiny. Tiny going forward, finds the Avalanche Wave of Terror as well. Hasn't got anything to toss forward onto Goretz, though. He's going to try and chase it down. Level 2 in the old growth, so he's got a pretty fast movement speed here. And it looks like he's just kind of creating space because of the rest of the team. They are going for the Roshan. They're in the pit with the level 3 Necros, with the Beastmaster, and the Vengeful Spirit Aura now being added to the commitment. Wave of Terror coming down, and well, that's going to be an easy Roshan there for the side of the Dire. Gyrocopter will pick that one up. Blink Dagger now complete on Tiny. And Gyrocopter, how's his farm looking? We saw him earlier, I believe, with just the phase boots. Now he's got a Morbid Mask, so he's going to be able to stand a little bit stronger in these team fights, and especially so with the good old Aegis in his hands. And Goretz still a little bit far off the Blink Dagger on Surfshaker.
Okay, so the Tiny bot blinked, like you had mentioned, but that means the Sven's going Aghanims.
You reckon they won't get double?
He's making it. Yeah,
he's literally making it. Yeah. Okay, so Sven Aghanims. Let's talk through it. So basically, if we have a look, it gives you the whole team the same percentage increase relative to their strength gain?
No. It's 80% base damage.
80% base damage for everybody.
Yeah, 80% base damage for a Tiny, for example.
Okay, so that's some serious stuff.
It's almost like between the Venge and the Svenalty, it's giving you a double damage, like better than a double damage, because it's 36% for Venge and 80 from the Aghanims.
And the duration's pretty good, isn't it? It's what was...
Yeah, it's pretty long, like 25 seconds. Yeah, it's very long.
I mean, that's a tower, or 2, or 3.
Or a team fight as well.
Or a team, yeah.
Like, if he gets the Aghanim Scepter after he already has the Svenags, then he's going to be hitting like a beast. Like, and you have Beastmaster Aura on top of that, and no one has bought Vlad's yet either. So all of those items are still available. And AC, like the amount of auras that they're going to be stacking and just like trying to boost this Tiny into like God mode, the only thing that they don't have is a Wisp.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But the thing is, I guess Hellraisers, even though they do have a Wisp, in these team fights, they're not going to have a Wisp for that long. Unless he's very careful with his positioning.
Yeah, he goes explodey if anybody looks at him wrong on this lineup. I mean, right now, what does he have? He's got a belt of strength. That's his tankiness right now, and a wand.
19 minutes in, 19 to 18. It's a very kind of high-octane and action-packed game we're seeing so far. For an Ninja, he's going to take a roar to the face. Think of the Necro units, they will be able to take down the mana. And look at that damage. Io, he just offers himself up to the gods here, and the gods indeed are Beastmaster. Double kill for Pasha Invoker, and he says, cheers, Io. Top lane, there's a bit of a dive going on to Artez. He will take a missile to the face. He does get the armlet off, but the avalanche is not even going to be needed as the punches come through with the toss. Oh, Artez does manage to get off the ultimate, and the armlet toggling is real. There's a bit of a fight going down on the bottom lane. Sven, he's having a little bit of an issue here with a Beastmaster, but it's a triple kill for the Beastmaster as he's able to bring down the Earthshaker as well. Sven's still alive. Throws a Stormhammer down into the Aegis to cancel the TP out from Dread. Dread will kill the Hawk, but he might end up being killed himself as in comes the Sven. He's still got the God Strength. He will miss the attack though because of the Drunken Haze, but they've got the slow from the board. They chase this one down. The axes fly through.
That was 4 kills.
Pasha Invoker, that was 4 kills. It's a shame it's not an ultra kill, but I mean,
Pasha is dominating this game.
He really is. Like, 11 for 3 and 6 assists.
When they buffed the boar so much, so now it slows you by 40% with 1 hit. And you get the bonus attack speed on your Necrobook. So you're 45% faster attack speed on Necrobooks who already hit very fast. You just saw how he obliterates people. Like, he roared, killed Affinj immediately. That Wisp still has 1100 health almost, and he got tore through in seconds.
Oh, yes, no, they're in the jungle and they're running away, and rightfully so. Don't want to hang around anytime soon, but Earthshaker, he doesn't really want to hang around anytime soon as well. Throws a Fisher out. Affinj with a little bit of a split push, trying to get some momentum back here on the top lane, and well, there's your blink forward with the Avalanche. Isn't going to catch out Goretz. He keeps his distance, keeps himself back here. Mid TP back into middle lane now from your Brewmaster. Brewmaster doesn't have the ultimate available here. Primal Split is still on cooldown. Goretz, he's kind of trapped up here. He tries to TP.
He actually is trapped.
It's literally... Oh no, he gets out now and throws out the Echo Slam, takes a magic missile to the face. Earthshaker's dead. Waning Rift will stop Tiny from being able to catch out the puck, but one hero down here on the side of the Radiant. And Fortification will come out, but the tier 2 almost certainly will fall here in this situation. Sven, how's he doing on the way to the Aghanims? Now with this tower, he'll be able to pick up the second component. And I mean, this is some innovative stuff coming out from the side of Team Chappa, and it seems to be working for the most part.
It's almost becoming scary territory, because now they have the Vlads up on the Brew, so they have an additional way of fighting, so that's okay. Like, you have your Vlad's Aura, so you get some plus armor against the mass melee strength team, which is obviously going to be good, especially when you're playing up against Fen. So that kind of counteracts the Wave of Terror. So they have that going for them. But eventually, like, they're going to get this tier 1 for free. I don't even think that HR would want to fight around this. It's a little bit too risky. They're going to need everything at their disposal. And what they really need is they need Gorik's Blink. Like, they need Shaker Blink so badly. Because if he can't get a good echo in a team fight, there's never an opportunity for him to shine. Like, we talked about how it's not really good to pick a lot of melee against Shaker because of well, obviously if you walk too close to him, you're gonna get echoed. I mean, that's really the whole point. And Aftershock is a small radius around the hero. It's around 300, so the same distance as Craggy. But he's not able to get into the fight at all. He just explodes before he's able to do anything. And Affinage, he goes Midas. So he is not looking to try to end this game. He's just trying to say, look, I'm gonna farm it out. I'm not going to try to take fights unless they're pushing our high ground. And I'm going to go for the super late game and try to kite him out. I don't know if that's the right choice, but that's a choice that he's making.
I mean, running the Midas on both the Brew and the, as you were just saying, on the puck. I mean, do you think this is, from their perspective, they just kind of feel, well, we can just indefinitely hold this, they kind of postpone the end of this game. It's going to be too hard for Chappa to break the high ground, and then we'll just kind of have this huge kind of power spike at the late game, whereas the side of Chappa may not at this kind of, like, the progression they're having.
Chappa's late game is really good.
Yeah.
They got Sven, they got Gyro, they got Tiny, they got 2 Aura heroes as well. Of course their late game is good.
So what's going through Hellraiser's mind now?
I think that they feel like they can't fight until Gorak gets Blink, which is true. I really feel like they should be prioritizing his farm over all else. And then once he gets Blink, maybe they feel competent in taking a fight outside of their base. But for the foreseeable future, I don't see them trying to fight at all unless they know that somebody's alone. And given the way that Dire have been playing it out, they usually kind of stick together and want to travel and just go for big team fights because their heroes are great at engaging and just taking brawls, you know, just mass stuns, kill everybody with big damage and yell loudly.
Yelling loudly now. They're going to have to find anyone here. Nope, looks like Chaos Knight is going to be able to back up far enough. They're going to spend a little bit of time looking through the tree lines, just seeing if anyone's hiding out, but it's not going to be the case. And Team Chappa, they're not going to be able to find anyone here on this top lane. And all in all, it's just giving space to the side of Hellraisers. Dready's gone for a little bit of a smoke up, and so did Alpha Ninja. But as well as the Dire, both sides just not finding anything with these little bits of action.
Yeah, I mean, it still kind of favors HR in a way because they know that they shouldn't be fighting. They're just actively trying to avoid any engagement that they can, keep the lanes pushed out, try to punish any mismovements coming out from Team Chappa. But here they come, they're going to push into the tier 1. They are kind of grouped up like they want to defend this, but man, it's so risky. Like defending an off lane tier 1 when you don't have Blink Shaker.
TP onto the Hawk here, on the high ground. He's seeing if he can get initiation with the Blink Roar.
Yeah, he's got good vision around here, so he saw the 2 of them walking towards the tier 1. Okay, they're actually going to back off. I think that's an okay choice. I thought that maybe Chappa would try to fight them, but instead I guess they're waiting for Sven Ags because he's only like 900 away.
Oh, he's got it.
That's a big pickup.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. Yes,
yeah,
the final bit.
He's a little bit farther away, but...
I mean, Tiny Ags as well. That's not too far off. He's about halfway there himself. Has the enough money for the point booster and the whatever component he wants to pick up first if he so wishes. And I mean, will the Tiny almost certainly be going Ags here? Is there's
I think
nothing
so.
else you go for?
I really think he should go Ags. I mean, he might go like BKB or something.
Okay.
Because it feels like with the way that they're playing it out, they want to try to go high ground and end, and BKB can be great for that.
They found Io, and well, there's your Avalanche. It's a toss. They've got a magic missile as well. There's your Io being blown up. Nice Storm Hammer onto Artis, and that is your Chaos Knight just getting obliterated by the side of Chappa. What? I mean, now they're going to maybe try and push the high ground, and they might even be able to force out a buyback here.
Yeah, they will definitely force a CK buyback, and they'll probably run after they do. But they do still have Blink Coil. So maybe HR can turn this, depending on how that positioning is. They're not going to have Book Up, Roar is down, so there are not really a whole lot of teamfight utilities left, but the CK is not buying out.
They just want to sack this Rax?
I guess. They're going to glyph. Maybe he buys back now? No?
No, Waning Rift on 3. They do use the Echo Slam, bring down the Vengeful Spirit. Now's your buyback, but already after they've lost the melee Rax, pops the BKB, will cancel the TP of the Tiny. They're going to rift back with Jaro, trying to chase down Jaro. Jaro puts the cooldown. And in fact, they've not killed anyone other than the Venge yet. Jaro is able to get away. And Alpha Ninja takes a stun to the face, and Sven just stuns and runs.
They lost their courier. What was going on? Like, honestly, what was that? They stun the Tiny to cancel his TP, and then they ignore him. How did he not die?
Tiny's got his Ags after that as well.
Yeah, and the Sven has his Ags as well.
Point boost. Sorry, he needs a point booster. He's just 700.
Oh yeah, he's really close. But the Sven bought his Ags off. I have no idea what just happened. Like, I honestly wish that we could just watch it again, because I'm like, my brain is just, it's lagged.
Hey, what happened to our instant replays? Did we not get them?
I think they were working a while ago, but maybe something with the equipment.
They broke.
Yeah.
Okay, no more instant replays now. Hey,
I don't know. Scriff broke. It's his fault. We're blaming him.
Scriff. They broke them during the weekend.
So it wasn't us. It was
Scriff.
the other
Scriff
thing
comes
that
here on
was
the
in the
weekend
studio.
because he loves it here so much. 27 minutes, 50 seconds. Cooldown's going to catch out both the Earthshaker and with the Avalanche as well, and the toss to follow up. There's going to be a swap there. Goretch being brought into it all. Tiny's in the middle of it. Primal Roar onto Artes through the BKB, but looks like Goddamn is going to do a little bit of a blink relocate there just to the sidelines. Fisher will catch out free. There's going to be the clap onto a couple of them, and now bringing them low. The Waning Rift forcing the side of Kappa to disengage. Dual Scepter on Puck, holding him in place for the time being. He's going to orb out. The axe is flying through from Pasha and Foka. Only one hero down so far on the side of the Dire. Just the Vengeful Spirit falling in this one. Can anyone look to reinitiate here? There's going to be a haste rune bottled up by the IO, and it looks like that's the end of the fight. But a bit of a messy fight there.
Why do they have two Vlads?
Because...
Team?
So...
They have two Vlads. Okay. I mean, he could have bought a mech, but...
you know, you're playing against Team Kappa.
Dude, I think HR are actually borderline tilting right now. Like, you lose that first game because our test gets caught out, right? You win the second game super hard, and you're like, yeah, okay, we got this. And then they pick some clowny lineup, and you're like, all right, we're losing to this. And then you just get, like, super angry. I think it's a legitimate concern when you have that kind of happen, but bottom lane.
Rift onto the Sven, Echo Slam as well, and a few slaps.
Yeah, they get the gem back too. That's huge. During the last team fight, the Venge lost his gem, and then the Sven recovered it, but then he just gave it back to them, so.
I mean, Beastmaster, 2.5k gold, but we're going to see an Aghanims on him as well, or do you feel there's better things he could go for?
Aghanims certainly isn't bad. He could go for the Vlad's path. He could go AC, or he could let the Tiny buy AC. Kind of depends. I like to buy AC when I'm the Aura hero because that leaves the Tiny available to buy like Butterfly, which I think is a better like hard carry item against heroes like CK, because you still get the armor Aura, of course, and you still get armor from Butterfly, but the evasion is key because against these types of heroes you typically don't get MKB. Like Artes is not going to want to buy MKB on Chaos Knight.
Now, did the side of Team Kappa want to fight without their Sven? Oh, the Visor onto Venge. It was going to force stuff out, but it gets rifted back in. And will go down Dread, blinking forward, pops the Primal Split. Pasha Invoker trying to get himself out of this fight, but he's caught in the midst of it all. He'll be held in place by the Earthshaker. He's still alive, though. He does go down, though, as Io relocates, and Io will get popped. There'll be a buyback straight away from the Beastmaster as Sven tries to turn the fight as well. Looks for the roll, but the Yule. No, sorry, it was the Spirit, wasn't it? Sending him up in the air will mean he can't get out. Goretz TP's out from the sidelines. Sven getting very low as the Dream Coil onto both himself and the Tiny. Tiny gets used up. Sven's still alive. He just mans up, turns, and gives them a good few punches. It's two heroes down on the side of Hellraisers so far, and I believe it was the Venge and the the Beastmaster going down. Beastmaster did of course buy back on the side of Team Kappa. Yeah, 2 for 2 with just that buyback.
Yeah.
And overall fairly even, but you know, it was fairly even.
HR come out ahead for sure.
Yeah.
But the Roshan is the big key here because both teams, like committing that hard to the push, like relocating into the tower, very aggressive from HR. They have to assume that at least 1 or 2 people on Kappa are going to have buyout, and now there's a good chance that they might lose Roshan because of this. And if they get Roshan, then I would say in the grand scheme of things, the buyback for Kappa was definitely well worth it. So it looks like that might be the case.
And it looks like the side of Hellraisers aren't going to be able to do anything to contest this anytime soon. Roshan will fall. Aegis goes yet against the Gyrocopter. And I mean, Gyrocopter starting to look pretty scary here, the Gyro. He's managed to get himself the old Yasha helm and BKB online on top of the phase boots and 1200 gold in the bank as well. Tiny, of course, now with the completed dags on himself and very close to hitting that level 16 as well, 31 minutes in. It's...
Oh, they buffed the Aghanims, by the way. I was wrong.
What's the percentage?
It's 100% at level 16, and it's 75 at level 11. So right now it's 75 base damage, and it is a DD rune at level 16, like for everybody on the team.
So Tiny's going to be hitting for 440 a punch. That's a lot of...
Not including Venjora, and not including the attack speed that he also gets from his Venge. And it looks like the Beastmaster is going to go Vlad's.
So the Venjora, how much percentage is that? Is that 30-something percent?
36.
36%. So 36% of 440.
Well, it's only level 1, so it's 12 right now. But he'll have it level 4 eventually, hopefully.
I mean, yeah, once they get... You're going to be punching for over 500 a time on this Tiny.
Yeah, but even just between the level 1 aura and the Vlad's, it's still like 26% more damage. I mean, he's going to hit like an absolute monster. And they have a Wolf Creep too. Dear Lord.
Oh my
goodness.
He's gonna be reaching on to 700 a punch.
Yeah, if only the Venge was a bit higher level. Like, look at his damage right now, which is level 1 aura.
Without the God
430 damage.
They're going for a bit of the
and God Strength. You can't base race this. You can't base race this. There's no way.
They're gonna try it. I mean...
No, the Panda TP'd back.
Oh, they are going to get the Dream Coil out, and indeed, yeah, the Echo Slam as well brings down the Gyro, but Gyro does have the Aegis. Sven getting very low as well. The Avalanche can't quite catch out Goretz. They try and shoot him down. Now the cooldown is going to catch all three of them in the midst of this, and they're going to continue to try and fight through it. They've lost the Earthshaker, they've lost the Io. Io will buy back. Artez with the BKB trying to fight through, but look at the punches and the right clicks coming out. It's a lot of damage, Dread. Trying to get the slow onto Pasha. We'll find it now with the slaps from his club. Pasha turns around, and now with the toss into the Rocket Barrage. Missile catching out Dread as well. It's a 2 for 2 so far, obviously, with the buyback on the side of the Radiant. Dodger gets pulled back in by the Rift. He will go down here as well. 3 heroes to fall on the side of Kappa. Now with the Yules onto Tiny, holding him in place, but he chooses to just TP out. Have they got anything to cancel it? No, not in time. Tiny will be able to escape out of this one. So they do lose the entirety of their top racks, the side of Team Kappa, but they do get the melee racks, yeah, from the side of the Radiant.
Yeah, HR won that still. Like, it was really clever what they did. They just left the Phantasm Illusions up there to hit the racks because they knew that nobody was going to be teleporting back. And everything considered, the Venge didn't really get to do anything that fight at all. Died without even, I think, using Swap. So everything, like, HR, they won that. Like, not even a question. And I'm pretty sure they also lost Aegis, and the gem is on deck again. Even though it hasn't been picked up, I assume they're just waiting for one of the supports to go down there and grab it. But I'm really confused as how... If the Phantasm isn't there, roar onto Goddamn, by the way.
He's going to give it some, but there's going to be a Fissure, and maybe Goddamn can turn this around with the help of his friends. And, well, yeah, Pasha's got a run, gets rifted back, and Beastmaster takes a crit to the face there as CK brings him down. And that is your Beastmaster down for 85 seconds. No buyback available.
Oh, relocate. They spotted out the Sven.
Now with the Rift, they're going to go in for it. Sven's pretty tanky, but it looks like he's not going to be tanky enough. Fissure holds him in place. He did get out the Stormhammer. The cooldown will catch out all three, but it's not enough to keep the Sven alive. Sven is now down as well, and he himself has no buyback as well. Goretz gets swapped into the Rocket Barrage, but he still lives. He's going to be able to run away. No, he does go down, but they've also given away the life of the Venge. 3 heroes are dead on the side of Team Kappa. And again, the Venge doesn't have buyback. It's going to be up to the Tiny and the Gyro to defend the high ground here.
I mean, I don't think they'll be able to go in because there's a tier 2, but yeah, it's definitely not great. Like, Kappa have given away way too many free kills at this point. Their fighting has not really been that coordinated from what I've seen. Like, the Tiny walked away from his team when they were pushing in bottom lane. Like, didn't really do much of anything during the engagement at all. And normally, like, you see them going on the racks, and HR realized they couldn't just do a straight up base race because the Tiny was hitting for like 600 damage. So there's no way you're out base racing that, like, not even close. But they leave the Phantasm up there, but they still win the engagement without Phantasm. Like, that's mind-blowing to me that HR can win that fight with a premature split coming out from Dread to try to buy time, and with no Phantasm they defend. Like, how in the heck can they possibly do that? And it's mainly because of the Echo. Like, the Shaker came in huge. He got a brilliant Echo. It hit, I think, like 1 billion things at least. It's a scientific term, or a close term, 1 billion. And it just kind of melted the Venge, and then everyone else was left in pretty bad shape after that. So I think maybe getting a couple more BKBs wouldn't be too bad of an idea, because the Shaker ruined them during that push.
Let's see if he's able to ruin them again. He comes in with the smoke. The back of a Dread on the Brew, and of course Puck, ready to make the jump here onto the top lane. They're all going for it. All 5 of them now. Heading straight up towards this top lane. There is, of course, no racks. They don't have... standing on the high ground here, so if Hellraisers get close enough, the smoke will be revealed. Dread, he's just waiting for the opportune moment to jump straight in. Gyro did come out a little bit there. Looks like they're not going to be able to jump on anyone else. Yep, ping's coming out onto Pasha Invoker. As he does come down to the low ground, and ooh, you've got this guy coming out a little bit too far. We'll be able to force stuff away. Takes a drunken haze to the backside. Fisher will come out, but now blink forward from Nicarita, but the blink out from Goretz just in time. Relocating Artez into this fight.
Dire's middle
Not really into an opportune position, though, because it doesn't look like going to be able to
There's
capitalize.
nothing even here. Like, there's no reason for HR to fight. I think they only relocated because they assumed that one of the other blink initiators would have gone in. And I mean, the warding is great because HR still have full vision, and the 1D ward that Kappa have placed has missed both wards. So the only reason that that relocate gank happened on the Sven was because they had vision in that area. And it looks like you're going to see the Wisp scouting at Roche. It's still quite a ways away, though.
It is indeed 37.5 minutes in. 31-31. There's going to be a bit of action being looked for by the side of Team Kappa. They're going to blink onto Goretz with the Avalanche, with the toss, and the missile flying through, but the damage from Tiny, absolutely disgusting, wipes him off this game. And now Sven, he's still smoked up, maybe thinking if they want to go deeper, but it looks like half the team wants to kind of hold back on Team Kappa. Tiny's just backing up to the Ancients. There is a puck jaunting around in the jungle here. Can they find Alpha Ninja? He's going to be out, TP's back to the base, to the high ground. Dread, there's a roar. He's going to get roared. Where's the follow-up stun? Venge getting himself in. Will find the magic missile. The mana's all gone on Dread. They've got a Stormhammer to follow as well. And that is going to be the Brewmaster getting blown up there. Swap onto Alpha Ninja. He face shifts for the time being, but the Avalanche will... No, he gets the Yules off. Is he going to be able to blink out this one? Yeah, oh, he's going to use the illusory orb. Is he going to be able to get up to high ground? He is, but there's a Tiny waiting for him. No, where'd he go? I blinked out.
He juked them all.
Outplayed there. Outplayed.
Yeah, he juked them all. Everyone thought he was going to go to the orb, and he didn't. All right, well, they're not buying back, so they just give away their racks for free, I guess, the range one. Maybe they just don't want to commit the buyback until the last set of racks are a threat here, because they have tier 2.
Ooh, Hawk is going to spot out the side of Hellraisers, sitting on the high ground here. But what looks like Kappa, they don't want to fight. Sven, he really doesn't want to fight. He's getting caught out by the Dream Coil. Throws the Stormhammer back, looks for the TP with the Fisher, the Yules, everything's going to be there to cancel it. Gets thrown into the Waning Rift, Chaos Bolt, the crits come through. Artez will be able to bring down the Sven off the back of that retreat.
It's a really tense point in the game. Even though the Sven has buyback, like I'm not talking about the picks, I just mean if that tier 2 top dies, it only takes one fight for Kappa to just been like, okay, boom, your base is dead. The thing is, normally Wisp lineups, you can say, sure, you can backdoor, but there's 2 tier 2s alive. The bottom and the middle tier 2 are still alive and kicking, so it's going to be very difficult for them to go for any backdoor play unless the waves are actually pushed out. Like, you simply can't do it. So they need to get those towers down. Kappa need to get the tier 2 top. Or, I mean, I guess you could try to fight in the base with the middle and bottom racks as being killed, but that's really only tier 4 damage, not nearly as useful as megaing the enemy team.
Alpha Ninja, a little bit of a vision of each other there, but no one's going to kick off the fight. And they do back up. A lot of money coming out of some of these cores on the side of Kappa. We're seeing about 4.3k gold on your, I believe it was on the gyrocopter that he has stockpiled. So at the same time, about 2.5k on the Brewmaster. No, 3k, sorry. Sorry, yeah, 2.5k on the Brewmaster, but 3k on the Beastmaster. In fact, the other BM on the side of the Dire. But it's, yeah, as you said, it's a very tense moment. Both teams have the potential to make something big happen.
Yeah, Roshan will likely be the next point of contention. It's up in about a minute or so. And when that happens, there's already a ward up from HR, so they'll have full vision. And they might even be able to use this vision for a pick, but I don't know if the ward sees... No, it doesn't see the Tiny in this Sven. It only sees the gyro farming at the moment. A very risky proposition as everyone else is off the map for HR.
Grouping up HR. Ready to push this bottom lane. Ready to try and take the second tier 2 off the side of Team Kappa. Team Kappa around the secret shop at the moment, 3 of them. We saw on the top lane, Pasha Invoker, Beastmaster just trying to deal with these super creeps coming in. Both the Tiny on the sidelines. They're not going to be able to contest this tier 2, and it is going to fall. Hellraisers will claim that for themselves. Io with the final tickle.
They didn't see Roshan spawn. That's a bit of a bummer. The Hawk died like seconds before Roshan popped. So right now, Kappa don't know for sure if it's alive. They don't have any vision in the pit, but HR do know that it's up. Unfortunately, their tier 4s are getting beat on by creeps, so they need to find a way to deal with this.
Tier 4, one of them at least down to half health. And they go into Roshan now with the double damage on your Chaos Knight. But Team Kappa, they want to commit. There's going to be a cooldown coming down into the middle of the fight. Artez getting caught out, will be tossed as well. Hasn't yet got his BKB off. Now he gets it off, trying to fight through all. Echo Sam only catching out the Sven here. Sven's been silenced up though as well. Doesn't have a BKB, so he's going to be able to fight for this. It's Dream Call onto 3. It's a double kill for Artez. As 3 heroes fall, they have lost the puck on the side of Hellraisers. Tiny, he's the 4th member that's going to be going down on the side of Team Kappa. It's only Passion Invoker left, and he goes down as well. It's an ultra kill for Artez here on the Chaos Knight. The armlet toggling, really working out for the boy. And now they're going to get Roshan off the back of that as well, Draskan. And I think this is the first time in the game where we're seeing one team really break away from the other.
That was a terrible miscommunication from Kappa. They should not have jumped. They needed to wait for the Beastmaster. He didn't come into that fight until well after Artez had split. Every successful engagement that they've had is either HR losing their brew or losing the CK before they're able to ult. If either one of those ults go off, the capability of HR taking a team fight after the fact is exponentially better. So if Artez gets his BKB with his AC and almost now full heart with his armlet, and he gets a Phantasm off, the damage output that he has goes through the roof. Like, you cannot prematurely go in unless your Beastmaster is there to follow it up. The tiny combo stunned Artez, threw him up in the air, and then as soon as that was over, there was nothing left to hold him down. Like, even if goddamn relocates him, he's gonna have to relocate him somewhere other than the fight because he needs to regen. Like, a couple of bottle charges is not gonna put him back into fighting shape. So even if you didn't kill him, it would have been good enough. But you absolutely needed to have Beastmaster on the CK there at the start. That was a very, very premature jump.
Oh, now with a massive swing in terms of net worth and XP coming out of that fight, about 20,000 advantage now for the side of Hellraisers, and they go to the high ground. Team Kappa, they've got the full roster back. Can they do anything to stop this? Cooldown comes down. Artez is just going to walk out, wait for the weather to be over, and go back in with the rest of his team when he's ready. There's going to be a pause coming out. Tiny coming in with the pause. Now he's going to hang on for a second. Indeed, just Passion Invoker informs us all, but this is going to be quite something that the side of Team Kappa are going to have to try and defend against as Hellraisers come up to the high ground.
Well, there's no Phantasm as of yet. Still 35 seconds, but the CK is still gigantic. Like 3,300 health, 30 armor with Vlad Zora. He is an absolute monster at this point.
And Dio's got the cheese as well for it.
Yeah.
I
mean, the cool thing about their lineup is if you just mana burn the CK, his mana pool is terrible. Like, CK has one of the worst int gains in Dota, so it's 1.2. That's a lot of the reason why the Roar is so effective, is because if he doesn't BKB, he loses all of his mana and can't Phantasm. Without Phantasm in the early game, he does nothing. Sure, now he still right-clicks pretty hard, but you would obviously want to be able to use your ult if it were available. So even if they don't kill him, being able to mana burn is a great way to stop him from being as effective in the engagements. Same thing could be said for Brew. Brew's int gain is slightly better, but not by much. And the Necro Book has done wonders this game. Unfortunately, Pacha has not been able to... He wasn't in the right spot at the right time, I guess, for the Roshan fight.
No, I mean, that little bit of a miscommunication, as you said at the time, seems to have cost them very heavily. The side of Team Kappa is now the team that's been pretty aggressive for the most part of this game is now being pressured into their base and being a little bit timid here. They've got to kind of wait until Hellraisers come to them before they choose to take a fight. And Artez up to the high ground, starts hitting away onto this tier 3. When are they going to make the jump? That should jump straight out to the eye. They want to try and burst him down first of all, and they wall the cheese, keeps him alive. Echo Slam, Dream Call, Waning Rift onto 3. That's your Venge, your Gyro, and your Beastmaster going down here. Beastmaster will buy back, but the Gyro and the Venge, they can't do anything of the sorts. Artez taking a bit of damage here from the Tiny, but he's so damn tanky, Sven. He's getting focused here by the Primal Split. Spirits and Fisher catching both himself and the Passion Invoker on this Beastmaster that has brought back. There's going to be a buyback now from the Sven. They're kiting the Tiny. They're trying to bring him down. Toss onto Artez into the eye. It's not enough to bring any of them down. No one's died so far on the side of the Radiant. Dread going in with the BKB as the Primal Split ends. There's a buyback from the Tiny. Can he kill this? Well, with the toss there into the base and the Stormhammer, they will be able to find Dread possibly. He's got to be able to get the slow. He does go down. They do kill the Brewmaster, but they've lost so much, Team Kappa. They've lost the mid-racks there as well. And if we look at that fight recap, there must be a huge golden XP swing again. Yeah, 10,000 XP swing and about a 10,000 gold change between the two sides.
Yeah, that fight was actually pretty hilarious, because after the 3-man Echo went off, Artez spent the better part of that fight trying to attack Tiny, and he got triple Craggied. Like, he stunned the first attack, Craggy. Tiny walked away. He reality rift, or hit him again, Craggy. Then he reality rifted and got Craggy the third time. Like that. I mean, you got to admire the small things, right? I mean, everything, looking at HR's lineup, they should have won that fight. Like, that push was very easy for them because Artes has gotten to a point where his net worth is almost doubling the next highest on the side of Chappa, and you expect with that kind of a lead that you're just going to steamroll, right? So I don't really feel that there was much more that Chappa could do outside of not... Like, that Roshan fight was the end of the game for Chappa because that was their last chance to have a good engagement. And Artes was actually so badly positioned for that. If the Beastmaster had just been with a Tiny, they would have been able to blow him up or at the very least force a very fast relocate. Maybe the fight could have turned out a bit different, but for now, HR looking to end it.
Yeah, all ults bar the Echo Slam are up for the side of the Radiant, and they take down the Gyrocopter. The damage for the Phantasm eating through the Sven as well. Gyro buys back. They've also lost the Beastmaster though. As he goes down, he has no buyback available for this fight. They're going to send the Gyro up into the air. They're looking to go deeper for bigger kills. Tiny gets the Avalanche toss onto Artes, but with the Chaos Bolt and the Rift, bringing the Tiny back in. The damage coming down. 4 heroes are dead on the side of Team Chappa. Tiny has to walk himself back to base, back to the fountain. And, well, out comes the... Not quite sure what that means. Draskell, are you an expert in this language?
I am definitely not.
Not an expert? Are you anything close to an expert in this language?
No. It looks like moon runes to me, man.
Moon runes.
I don't have any idea what any
Fantastic.
of that means. But I'm sure they're just exchanging some pleasantries.
I'm sure. I mean, it seemed like a bit of a fun game between the two sides, and Team Chappa, I like them. You know, any team that kind of comes to
it was a
fight
fun
with that
game
draft,
to watch.
It's hats off to them, and they didn't do that badly. It was kind of what we saw like in the first Hellraisers game, that one little mistake, this time being in the Roshan pit, that cost them the game overall. I
was watching the engagement, I was like, oh man, the Tiny's gonna jump, and then the Beastmaster's gonna jump, and they're gonna kill the CK, and then they're gonna take this fight. Like, that's what I saw happening in my head because they had such a good position to do it. And then the Tiny goes in, I'm like, where's Pasha? Where's Pasha? Why isn't Pasha going in? You know, I'm just like expecting the Roar to be there with a Necrobook to be able to drain his mana at least so he can't ulti straight away, and it never came. And then after the Phantasm went off, I see him come in from the other side of the river, and he roars the Puck who had already used all of his spells. That's not a useful roar. Like, I feel like he played great throughout the entire game, but when this team needed him the most, either it was miscommunication and they didn't agree on when they were going to go in, or Pasha was just like in no man's land. I don't know, but I think that was the game changer right there.
Indeed, and Hellraisers, they do take the series 2-1, which is kind of what we tipped off as what we predicted.
I thought it would be a 2-0 for Hellraisers, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got to say we didn't really know a lot about Team Chappa, but for a team that we hadn't heard a lot about, they did play pretty well for the most part of it.
I was impressed. I mean, they brought something pretty creative to the table with their third game draft, and they made it work for what it's worth. Showed that it had some potential. It was a lot of battling, and I guess when that's the last game to end the day, you can't really complain.
Absolutely not. It kept us going late into the night, and late into the night indeed. But that is it for today in terms of games here at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague Season 3. And that's it from myself and Draskell. Of course, we'll be able to catch you tomorrow with the semi-final coverage. But first of all, don't go anywhere. We are going to be going straight over to our panel. But first, we're just going to show a few of our sponsors. There won't be any commercial break of any kind of length, so do just hang tight because you're going to have some more content straight on the way here at DreamLeague. We'll see you guys in a bit.